to show you, and I'm sure that you have seen this, but I'm going to show you now Colin Allred's response.
Morning, everybody. It's cold out here, and I got some steam coming off my head because I'm, just finished my workout. Got some steam coming out of my ears too. I understand that James Talarico had the temerity and the audacity to say to a Black woman that he had signed up to run against a mediocre Black man, meaning me, not a formidable, intelligent Black woman, meaning Jasmine Crockett. Let me just break this down into a few segments here. First of all, let me just give you some free advice, James. If you want to compliment Black women, just do it. Just do it. Don't do it while also tearing down a Black man, okay? We've seen that play before. We're sick and tired of it. We're tired of folks using praise for Black women to mask criticism for Black men. That's not good for our community. It's not good. It doesn't work, and we know what you're doing, okay? So if next time you want to praise a Black woman, just do that. Leave Black men out of it. Just leave a lot of things out of it. Second of all, did you ever have a coach or somebody, a leader in your life tell you that when you make an accusation, you often have a bit of confession in it? Maybe you use the word mediocre because there's something creeping into your mind about yourself. Because I know you're not talking about somebody who's been better at 3 things than you've ever been at 1. You are not saving religion for the Democratic Party or the left. We already had Senator Reverend Dr. Raphael Warnock for that. We don't need you. You're not saying anything unique. You're just saying it looking like you do. Okay? And third of all, let me just say to all the young Black men out there, all the young men come from tough background, struggle growing up, who maybe think that someday you want to put yourself forward as a leader in your community. It's going to have haters like this are going to show up. Okay? And you're going to feel like you have to be twice as good and jump twice as high and talk twice as well. But you don't have to. You can walk out there with your shoulders back and your head held up high, knowing who you are and the value that you bring, and understanding that this comes with the territory and that there's going to be folks like this. And when we see them, we should say thank you. Thank you for taking off the mask. Thank you for telling us who you really are and what you really think. And goodbye, okay? Because we're on our way and we don't need you to come with us and we don't need your help to get there. So with that being said, go vote for Jasmine Crockett. This man just should not be our nominee for the United States Senate. I wasn't gonna get involved in this race, but listen, don't come for me unless I send for you. Okay, James? And keep my name out of your mouth while you're at it.
Okay, that was Colin Allred, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with all the respect in the world. I think that Colin Allred did himself a lot of damage there, and it is indicative of what's wrong with Washington, D.C. politics. And I would never question. I've never met him. I have the utmost respect for him. I was all in for him when he ran against Ted Cruz. When he was the guy. I mean, he was just an upstanding guy. And to see him do this kind of thing, I had to keep watching it because I'm trying to figure out why in the world would he do this? Because that had not been his character. When he ran the first time, that's not his character as I have seen it since he's been running against Julie Johnson in this new race. And that race right there, Julie Johnson is a white woman. She had been representing that district, but, with the gerrymandering, it all got, crazy. And Allred got kicked out. Did Jasmine Crockett's house got moved out of our district. And I will say, and those of you who know me and know this show know that I will tell you that Congresswoman Crockett is my representative. I live in District 30, and she is our representative. But putting that aside, Colin Allred, that response was very disappointing. Number one is, to me, when it comes to this kind of thing, and when you get to that level, And let me tell you why I believe what he did. Because what men do, what he should have done was pick up the phone and call Talarico and say, "Hey, man, I've been told you said this about me. This is what I've been told. So I'm coming straight." See, that's the kind of thing I do. And it disarms people. But see, I'm not a messy person. And if I hear somebody say something that I know that's out of my character and that's not me, I'm not going to blast them on social media. I'm going to go right to them and say, "Hey, I heard you said this. Is it true?" Because see, that's what adults do. That's what leaders do. And that's why it was so disappointing to see that he chose to do this the way that he did it, and to use the kind of language that he did. And politicians just don't say anything just to be saying anything. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's why I had to listen to and watch that video 2 or 3 or 4 times, because I really wanted to hear what he was saying, and I wanted to know who it was he was talking to. Now, you have to understand this. The Black vote in Texas, although Black people make up the largest population in anywhere in the United States, as I said before, they also are the weakest when it comes to voting. The turnout is just not there. And what is troubling to Black leaders in this state right now is that Talarico does have crossover support. He has crossover support with Black Christians. He has crossover support with Black teachers. He has crossover support with the number of people that Black people feel should be in Jasmine Crockett's camp. Now, the last poll that was done, the Texas Opinion Poll, and I referenced that in this description that it came out last Friday, which shows Congresswoman Crockett up by 1 percentage point, 38 to 37%. It also showed that she has 75% of the Black vote. Now, she does not have 100% of the Black vote. She has a firewall of 75% of the Black vote, which means that other 25%, and I'm talking about Black population on the whole, no candidate gets an entire ethnic group of population. But with her polling at 75% and Talarico making inroads now into African American communities, that is concerning. The other thing that is concerning is the male vote. The young Black male vote. Let me be more specific in telling you this. What is concerning to Democrats is looking at these past 2 elections and looking at this past election, this 2024 election with Trump, where 22% of young Black men, 45 and under, broke for Trump. More young Black men voted for Donald Trump than any Republican candidate in recent history. Now, if you notice with Allred, towards the end, he did all of this rage, man, come for me and all that kind of stuff. But then at the end, he really gets to what he was wanting to get to. And that's 2 things. One is to gin up the vote for young Black men, because the Democrats have notoriously ignored Black men. I'm not saying making this up, and I'm not being mean. I'm just saying what is. Because although Black people make up the largest single group that votes Democrat, the Democrats, for the most part, ignores that group. They put more emphasis on LGBTQ. They put more emphasis on progressives, white progressives, and Black women, which leaves the Black men hanging out there. So when Allred made that pitch, when he was making it particularly to young Black men, and if you hear him towards the end, how he said, if you want to young black men, if you want to, grow up and someday think you're a leader, just know you're going to have these haters and all that kind of stuff, That was an appeal to their emotions, because let me tell you one thing. We know as far as watching voter behavior, especially among low information voters, and please know that I'm not talking about anybody. All I'm saying is what is. What is. When you are dealing with low information voters, whether it's white MAGA voters, whether it's black men voters, or whether it's the black voters, whatever that demographic is, and trust me, the consultants and the politicians know these groups. So what you have to do when you are dealing with low information voters, meaning that these people are not going to read campaign materials, they're not going to come to a forum, they're not going to ask questions, they're not going to do any of that. So how do you reach those people? You reach them one way: emotion, rage, outrage, and fear. Emotion, rage, enrage, outrage, and fear. That's how you reach low information voters. And it's a one-time shot, because they're not going to stay around and vote for city council and local elections and all that. They're not going to do that. So when you see a politician like Colin Allred make that pitch that he did toward the end, that was for low information black male voters, because they do not vote. And when you have a demographic that does not vote, you have to appeal to their emotion. You have to appeal to their heart, because low information voters do not vote with their head, they vote with their heart. And if you can get to their heart, you can get their vote. It does not matter. You don't intend to be there for them after the election. You don't need them then. You need to get them to the poll. And right now in Texas, the drag on the Democrat Party is black voters, particularly young black voters, particularly the voters that Congresswoman Crockett desperately needs to win this primary. And right now, remember what I told you, her demographic: black women, black voters, urban progressives. And if she loses either one of those constituencies, she cannot win this race. She can't. It's mathematically impossible. So Allred did what he did. I like I said, it's shocking, because that has not been his personality. But I also know that there's still a lot of frustration there with him, because he had it was set. It was going to be him and Talarico. And then Congresswoman Crockett got in the race. There was some tension there at the beginning. And then Mark Vesey got in the race. Remember Mark Vesey from Fort Worth? He got in District 30. It was just all messed up in the game as far as it relates to black leaders in Texas. So now that it has shaken out the way it has shaken out, and I know Allred, like Colin Allred's mother is white. Colin Allred's wife is white. So it's not like he has had this big push for black young men all the time. And that hasn't even been his district that he ran in before. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, But it's an appeal to the black voters, to the black male voters who don't vote. Okay? And it's unfortunate. Very unfortunate the way that it happened.